my channel. If you're new here, we like to do pick a cards, talk about tarot, astrology, and all things witchcraft. So today is a very special video because it's a two-part collab with Mystic Magic here on YouTube. My video is who is sending you signs, and her video is going to be what the signs are trying to tell you. So I have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with the Archangel Michael shield, pile 2 with this Bigfoot, and pile 3 with this little angel coin. So go ahead and use your intuition to select the pile for you, and make sure you check out Mystic Magic's 2-part to this video on what the signs are trying to tell you. As a quick reminder before I jump into the readings, I do offer personal readings on my website, as well as astrology consultations and personalized spell work. If you'd like to work with me, the link will be in the description below. That being said, I will see you in your reading. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Archangel Michael shield, this is your reading. I'm going to put it right here. So we're going to see who is sending you signs. First we have Sage, Heart's Desires Manifesting. We have Miss Queet, Tenacious Individuality. We have the Mystic, the Starborn, the Pilgrim, and the Kiss. So it's really interesting for you, pile 1, because when I was shuffling, I kept feeling like I wasn't like getting the right things coming out, you know? Like I just kept questioning myself, and maybe that's something that you find yourself doing quite often, and maybe that's why this spirit guide or this person is coming through for you, because I really get the sense for you that this is an ancestor who's kind of trying to get into contact with you. Because as soon as this Sage card came out, I was thinking ancestors, I was thinking previous like lineage, and the same kind of messages came through with this Pilgrim here too. Like I was thinking of a pilgrimage, and then when I think of pilgrimage, I think of lineage, like your generational lineage. And so I believe that the person who's sending you signs at this time is an ancestor who's trying to get in contact with you. And it's really interesting too, because I believe that this person is someone who is and was very mystical while they were alive in the physical world, and now while they're kind of pulling strings for you behind the scenes, you know? Because there's just a lot of messages here too of upwards growth, of roots, of being connected to your previous lineage, and breaking those generational curses is a big thing that keeps coming through too. When we're looking at breaking generational curses and things in that nature, we always want to look back and honor our ancestors throughout that process as well. We never want to make it a thing where we look back and we have resentment or anger towards those who have lived before us because they didn't do the things that we feel that we now have to do. These things are unfolding this way for a reason. And while it's normal to have some kind of like, oh, now I have these burdens kind of falling on me, I don't want you to think of them as burdens. I want you to think of them as blessings, that it's gone through so many lineages to get to you here, because you're in a place where you can break those patterns, you can break those cycles and free further generations from those kind of patterns. Because I'm sure, I guarantee you, if you look back in previous lineages, that there were things being broken that you didn't see either. Because what starts as a big thing can kind of be broken down over time, and now you're at this point where you can completely unshackle yourself and your future families from that pattern altogether. You've finally broken it down enough throughout the years that you're getting to a point where you can unshackle it completely. I also get the sense that this might be, I think that this is a pretty far away ancestor for you, like in your lineage, like it goes pretty far back. But so a grandparent, a great grandparent of some sort. But with this Kiss here too, I think of someone being married into the family. I think that this is someone who has married into the family a long time ago, a lot of generations ago. Because when we talk about the Kiss and we talk about the energy that is happening before a kiss, it's very electric. The air kind of feels like it's on fire. There's a lot of excitement in it. And it's basically the feeling of like everything building until two people succumb to the kiss. And maybe the generational curse also that you're dealing with is a pattern through love and through relationships and marriage. That is something that is going to be for you to ask yourself. But I feel that this person, either this ancestor that's communicating with you, either married into your family or this has something to do with the marriage partners that are often chosen by people in your family. Look at that and see what the pattern is there, if there is one at all. Another thing, I believe that this ancestor communicates with you and kind of speaks to you through butterflies and through birds, just kind of winged creatures in general, but the biggest ones being butterflies and birds, as a way to kind of comfort you in hard times or show you this is the right path, you're going in the right direction, don't doubt yourself. But it's definitely an interesting energy here as well, and maybe for some of you too, some Native American lineage in your past, because we did have that sage coming out, and that's one of the first things I thought of when I saw that, is just maybe some Native American heritage or just indigenous heritage in general. It doesn't have to be, of course, but that's a big thing that keeps coming through. And maybe to trigger warning right here to remind myself while I'm editing, and as well as you, maybe if that is the case for you and you do have indigenous heritage, maybe this kiss energy too that we're talking of started all the way back when the indigenous people were losing their homes with the British settlers, and this kind of created a pattern within your family of unhealthy power dynamics in relationships. So this has been going on for a long time, if that is the case for some of you with that specific generational curse of unhealthy power dynamics in relationships. And now you've come to a point where you're able to heal that. Because I do see, like with the starborn here as well, that this is your birthright and your honor to your lineage and to yourself to put this curse to rest, to set yourself free, set your ancestors free. And there's a lot of support coming from behind the scenes from your ancestors. And though I've been referring to this ancestor as one person, it definitely doesn't necessarily have to be one person. I really honestly don't think that it is. I think it's a group of ancestors, probably maybe 3 or 4, kind of taking on the form of one big ancestor full of wisdom to guide you throughout this process. If you're following me here, I know that's very woo-woo, but they're all combining sources in order to give you the most knowledge possible for you to move forward in your journey in kind of letting go of these patterns. So I think a good lesson for you here, pile 1, regardless of if you are of indigenous descent or not, that I would take a good look at previous relationship dynamics in your family and see how those sort of played out and what you can do to change those things. So now I'm going to get some messages from your tarot. And see what else this ancestor or these ancestors want you to know at this time. I'm just going to barely get into it because the second part of this collab with Mystic Magic is going to be looking at what these signs are trying to tell you. So we're just going to brush the surface a little. Is there anything pile 1's ancestor would like to say to them at this time, Spirit? Is there anything pile 1's ancestor? Oh, okay. Very nice. We have the 7 of Pentacles here. Beautiful. So I see this as them looking down at really you and all, wow, you know what? This is them looking down at all the previous generations with such fondness and love in their heart, and seeing how far each generation comes just a little bit more. And I see you as this pentacle over here that's kind of by itself, because these are all the previous ones, and then this is you. And your ancestors so excited for you to be alive at this time and take this even further than it's ever gone before. What else does this ancestor? Oh, okay. We have the Queen of Wands. Love it. They see you as somebody who's taking action, who is not afraid to shy away from a challenge. They see you as someone who stands in their power, who is not afraid to be bold and be daring. And that's going to take you places that you can't even imagine. Let's see. What else does this ancestor want to say to pile 1? Okay. We have the Two of Swords coming out. So they see you as somebody who's also very anxious and nervous about these tasks that you feel you've been assigned from birth. And let's get a clarifier for that too, because it's not that they want you to view it in that way, but they see that this might be something that seems overwhelming to you at first look, at first glance. When you look at, you feel you have so much that you need to do, you get overwhelmed, and it feels like a lot of pressure for you to break these cycles. We have, let's see, we have the Moon in reverse coming out as a clarifier for that. So I heard don't think so much, which is easier said than done, right? But kind of sitting with your emotions and allowing them to come up without having to overanalyze them, without having to obsess over them. Just allowing them to come up and observing them is something that will be very helpful for you here. And realizing also that you can take things just one step at a time. None of this is meant to be done all by tomorrow. There's no deadline on this, in the sense of you have to have everything finished and wrapped up by a certain date. I don't want you to view it like that. Things will come and go as they are meant to, and just trust in the knowing that you'll know what to do when those things do come. Does pile 1's ancestor have anything else they'd like to share? Oh yeah, we have another anxiety card coming out here. Okay, so you might sit up in bed sometimes. You might have restless sleep, or you might not be able to get to sleep sometimes because you're worried about the own things that are going on in your life. Maybe you're stressed about money. Maybe you're stressed about just certain responsibilities that you have in general outside of the responsibilities you have here. But we have the Four of Cups coming out, clarified by the Seven of Cups. So your ancestor and just spirit in general wants you to know that, I love this card so much because he's being offered something from the divine, from spirit, and he's just kind of like, no, I don't want that. Because sometimes we get in a place where we're so overwhelmed that we become kind of resentful towards our spirit guides, towards whatever you believe in particular, and we just want to kind of like bask in that resentment because we're just upset, right? But this is a reminder from your ancestors and from spirit in general that you have plenty of options. And I want you to see it more as if everything around you has felt like it's fallen apart, or maybe nothing is working out. I want you to shift that thinking little by little into, instead of thinking, I don't know what I want to do, I want you to change it into, oh, I don't know what I want to do. That leaves so much room for opportunity and so much room for the different things that I can explore. Because that's really the takeaway here of figuring out what it is that you want to do. Maybe you've already figured out what you don't want to do, and that's great. You're one step closer. Just trying new things and allowing yourself to be free. And on the back of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles here too. Because I do see abundance as being something that is on the path for you. It's not like it's unattainable to you. It's something that you might feel is very distant to you right now, but I feel it's a lot closer than you think it is. And Spirit's wanting me to tell you it's a lot closer than you think it is. I just want you to explore your options, take things day by day, honor the way you feel, and start to let go some of those negative thoughts around yourself and the limiting beliefs surrounding money and your abilities. Because when you're in that state, it's hard for you to see anything else except that. So I hope this was helpful for you, Pile 1. Make sure you check out the second part of your reading on Mystic Magic's channel. I will link it down below. It's going to be all about what the signs mean, where they're kind of leading you, and it'll be a really good two-parter for this video. So thank you so much for watching. Please definitely give me a like and a comment if it resonated. If you like my vibe, I would love it if you stayed and subscribed. I will see you later. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Hi Pile 2, welcome to your reading. If you chose the Bigfoots, you're in the right place, and we're gonna see who is sending you signs, and yours is really interesting. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. So we have Night Sky, Hope and Guidance. We have Thunder Mountain, Let It Bounce Off. We have the Cave. We have the Medallion. We have Alethea. The Temple. And Anima Mundi. I believe that's how you say that. So here's the thing, Pile 2. The person who is sending you signs at this time is you. It's your future self. And I know that might be confusing depending on where you are in your spiritual journey, how familiar you are with how time works, but time is not linear. Time just kind of goes in a circle. So it's entirely possible, and this is what's happening for sure, that your future self is trying to look back and guide you at this time and send you signs to let you know that they're here and that there is the other side where you are successful. Because with this Night Sky coming out too, I immediately got the sense like this is you. At first I thought it was your higher self, and I mean, you can view it that way if you'd like to, but I see it way more as it's your future self guiding you. Your higher self, your future self, we can use them interchangeably, but it's your future self showing you. With this cave here, especially, this medallion came out first. With this cave here, do you see like in the distance how there's that bright light coming? It's this medallion here that's like illuminating from it. It's so crazy, like when that happens, like watching it unfold. But I feel that you're going through hard times right now, Pile 2, and my heart really goes out to you because hard times obviously aren't the easiest, but I think it's important to remember throughout those hard times that emotions aren't either good or bad. And I think a big problem that we have just as a society in general is labeling emotions like anger and fear and sadness as bad emotions. And the truth is, they're not bad emotions. And if you are feeling that way, and if you're feeling kind of hopeless, if you're feeling kind of misguided, you're feeling, because when we see the cave here, we're talking about venturing into darkness. If you've been doing a lot of shadow work, whether by choice or it's just kind of being forced upon you by the way the energy is working out, it might be hard to see that one day you will get out of that darkness, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, or the cave in this case, and that's this medallion. So I want you to know, if you're not aware already, that the work that you're doing right now and the place that you're in your life is not for nothing. You're not going through these difficult times, and for some of you, I have a sense that something really horrible might have happened. And I'm not here to tell you, because I know this is frustrating to hear when you're going through something particularly challenging, that everything happens for a reason, or diminish the maybe potential trauma or just hardship you've been through in general. But I'm here to tell you that it will not last forever. The feelings that you're having right now will not stay forever. Once you get through this time, and it might take you a while, and that's okay too, but once you are through this, there is happiness, and there is this, for lack of a better word, treasure waiting on the other side of it for you. There will always be that light at the end of the tunnel, even if you can't see it right now. Maybe it's very distant to you. Maybe it's barely in the picture, but it is there. And I hope that that gives you some comfort throughout this time of working through this stuff, or going through these hard times in general, in knowing that it will not last forever. And that's why your future self is kind of coming through to honor you in that way, to give you comfort and guidance, and showing you that hard times don't last forever. I also feel here too, with the, I'm gonna butcher this name again, with the Anima Mundi, this talks about everything. It talks about all that is. It talks about being connected to everything, the collective unconscious. And I feel in general right now that with the collective unconscious message coming out, I feel in general right now that a lot of people are going through this purge of hard times to step into something better, to step in this new chapter collectively, as humanity evolves. And I think something that would really help you here, and a message from your future self too, is encouraging you to participate in more mindfulness activities, whether that be through meditation, whether that be through something like fishing or coloring, painting, drawing, just getting in that flow state. If you don't know what flow state is the state that we're in when we're doing something that we're passionate about, something that we really care about. So for me, a big one is reading tarot, because when you're in that state, everything is just coming to you and everything else kind of fades into the background. Your focus is solely on that one thing. And it's really good for people who say they don't like to meditate, because you're still participating in a mindfulness activity and letting other thoughts kind of dissipate while you focus all your energy on one particular task. And so that's something I would really encourage for you here. I think maybe you do like to paint or do something creatively, and if you don't, that's fine too. Just find or identify those things that you're passionate about and spend the time that you can and dedicate to them just on them. Put your phone on do not disturb. Go off by yourself and do something. Take a walk in nature and just dedicate yourself to that specific activity, because I think it's going to help your mental health out a lot here, and I think it's going to help just you feel like you have something that you're working towards and something that you care about again in your life. A big message here also, sorry, I'm gonna take a drink. A big message here also is about duality, with this Aletheia card coming out, about duality and balancing masculine and feminine energies, and seeing, and more so I think seeing for you, like we were talking about those good and bad emotions, because the colors in these two cards are so similar, but not identifying emotions as good or bad, but seeing them for what they truly are, in the sense of they are just different emotions. They are just something that is meant to show up for you, to allow you to feel different things. They're not particularly good or bad. And not shaming yourself is a big one too, pile two. I don't know if that's something that you participate in doing, because it's really easy for us to do that, right? And don't let me saying don't shame yourself allow you to shame yourself more, like, oh, why do I feel that way? But when we, and this is something I'm guilty of for sure, when we are going through difficult times or something that's not particularly our favorite experience, it's easy for us to be like, why do I feel like this? I thought I was past this. I was just happy at this time. Like, look at this person, they're able to just do this. I don't want you to think about stuff like that. And when you feel shame coming up for yourself, or judgment for yourself and why you feel the way you do, I encourage you to offer pushback in the sense of, I feel this way because I feel this way, and I'm going to honor this emotion because it's coming up for me, and that's enough for me to recognize that it's important for me to hear what it has to say. What is this emotion trying to tell me? Because I've learned more often than not, especially with emotions like anxiety, but really just any emotion. For me, a big one is anxiety. I used to fight my anxiety for a long time. I used to think, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel anxious? I want it to stop. I want it to stop. And that creates such a resistance energy. So instead, now when I'm anxious, I switch it to, okay, I feel anxious, and that's okay because it'll pass. I've felt like this before, and it's gonna be okay. And that is a much more accepting energy to be in. It feels so much better when you already are experiencing something that's overwhelming to you, like anxiety, like depression. And to accept yourself in situations like that, it's gonna make all the difference for you, I promise you. But there's a lot of messages here of honoring yourself and your body and taking care of yourself and your body. Maybe too, for some of you, for some reason I heard synagogue. Maybe some of you are Jewish as well, or, and forgive me because I'm not completely sure on the term, but Muslim as well. If you go to some sort of temple for religious practices, there is an encouragement from your future self to here too, to kind of get back to that. But for the majority, regardless, just creating a temple and a sanctuary in your own space and honoring your body, treating it like you would treat a child. Make sure you're eating enough, make sure you're getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, things like that. So now we're gonna get some advice from your future self on things we could do here that will make us feel a little better. Okay, we have the Death card coming out when I split the deck. I feel this is significant. We have the Death card here, so for some of you this might have been a literal death, but I think for the majority we're talking of death to maybe an old relationship, old cycles. Yes, okay, so we have the Devil in reverse here. We have the Tower right underneath it. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles reverse. So I think for some of you, what's got you in this headspace is the end of a relationship where this person that you were with, you once believed that they were someone that they have proved to you that they weren't. And it caused a Tower moment in your life, and you kind of felt that you had nothing. Maybe you still feel that way, but it kind of just, the rug was swept out from under your feet. You didn't see this type of thing coming, and maybe this is someone that you thought that you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and it didn't end up working out that way. And this experience kind of left you feeling depleted. It left you feeling maybe like you have lost like a sense of self and identity. Oh, what do we got here? We have the Knight of Swords. Okay, do you see how quick he's riding that? So let's get a clarifier for this. Spirit, can you clarify? Okay, that's so weird how they all fell out and just one was left on my leg. We have the Chariot. Very nice. This is, I feel, intentionally cryptic, and I can always tell when it's intentionally cryptic because asking for more messages is, you'll just get more cryptic ones. So something's coming in to kind of balance the scales is what I'm hearing in this situation. Not with this person, but with you yourself, in order for you to feel like the abundant person you are again. We have, let's see, I want to get one more. Spirit, can you clarify what's coming in? Okay. Beautiful. We have this card here. So what's coming in is the urge and the drive for you to feel motivated and creative again in order to work on your future, in order to collaborate with yourself. You're getting a lot of creativity back in, you're getting a lot of drive and your purpose back really in life, because while the situation might have left you feeling depleted and while you might have loved this person quite a bit, this person is not you. This connection does not define you. And ultimately, I think you know that this situation wasn't going to work out, and you were holding on to it for the hope that maybe it would. And my best advice to you, to pile 2 here, is it didn't work out, accepting that, and the blessing coming in for you though very, very soon with this Knight of Swords, literally just like hightailing it in, and this Chariot too, is the gift of motivation and feeling like yourself again, feeling like you want to work on specific projects that you really have a joy for that you haven't in a while maybe. So really, really interesting here for you, pile 2. I hope so much that you did enjoy this reading. There is a part 2 that's going to be available on Mystic Magic's channel. I will link it in the description below, and that's going to be what are the signs telling you, and it'll be a great part 2 to this video. If this did resonate, please do leave me a like and a comment. If you like my vibe, I would love if you stayed and subscribed. I will see you very soon. Have a beautiful and blessed week. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this angel coin here, this is your reading and you are in the right place. So I have tried to film your reading a few times now, I'm not gonna lie to you, and the messages coming through are very alien and very foreign, and we're gonna talk all about starseeds today in your reading, because I pick up on this energy coming through that's very alien to our human mind and to our human energy. And I believe that the person communicating with you is someone that you know really well from past lives that you spent on where your soul calls home, on your homeland, for lack of a better term. Because when I pulled this womb card here, the first thing I heard was mothership. So your motherland, really, where your soul sort of originates from. I believe that this person is a member of your soul family. It's someone who you spent many lifetimes with. It's someone who decided not to incarnate with you and instead chose to lead you from behind the scenes during this lifetime. Because we see the lover coming out and we see the prayer coming out, and when I pulled the prayer, I heard just ask. And the lover in nature in this reading is not a romantic partner, but more so just that divine soul source love, so a member of your soul family. And when I see this visitor, this tourist or alien card, I think of this person using other people, and not using in a negative sense of the word, but using other people to get to you if you're in danger. Like if you have a tire pop on your car, or if you're not feeling well, having that good Samaritan show up to help you out is what this spirit guide for you is all about. What this person, their goal is to help you out in this lifetime. With the river, I heard that just let it flow, but also a bigger message here is if one particular starseed is Syrian starseeds, and it's connected heavily with Atlantis, I believe. I'm not too familiar with starseed lore in general, so I'm going to do my best. It's connected with Atlantean history, and it's a planet of water, essentially, with mermaidian people and just aquatic creatures in nature. So the big starseeds here I get for you, if you're interested in this, are the Arcturians, the Lyrians, and the Syrians. So if any of those resonate right away, if you want to do a little Google search, definitely look into that and see, because those are some big ones coming out for you here. But regardless, this is a person coming through to lead you in the physical human world from behind the scenes of back home, if that makes sense. So I did pull some extra cards for you to pile through, because I really wanted to get an idea of what exactly was going on here. So we have the Holy Grail code, receive the gift, beyond illusion, change your perception. So maybe this is something that you don't know a lot about, or you don't believe in, or you don't want to entertain the idea that this is something that could be possible for you. And this is encouragement from this energy coming through to entertain that idea, to go behind the illusion, because we have a lot of eye imagery here too, with the alien card, with the, the Kairos card, and with the change your perception card. Activating your third eye is going to be a great way for these messages to come in more accurately to you from this person. So I also pulled some from my Mystic Martian Oracle to get a better picture of this. So we do have the Arcturians, we have feeling safe, wisdom keepers, concern. We have the Syrians, responsibilities, lessons growing up. We have the water element, reflection, kindness, compassion. And we have Ouroboros, infinity, eternal, past life. So I feel guided to, so I'm going to read the messages in this Mystic Martian deck to see if there's anything else we need to get across, if I can find it. Okay. So with these cards coming through as confirmation of what I was kind of saying earlier, these are the first two things I heard when I was pulling for your pile and like the starseed energy coming through. It's really interesting, pile 3 for sure, and I don't know if this wasn't what you were expecting when you clicked on this video, because I definitely wasn't expecting it when I was pulling for your reading. But regardless, they came through, and this person is sort of leading you down the right path in your life and making sure it's less so about leading you down the right path, and it's more so about making sure that you have everything you need to succeed in this lifetime that they can do from an outside perspective. So I'm gonna pull some tarot here and see if they would like to say anything else to you. Does this energy want to say anything else to pile 3? We have justice coming through, upright. I heard karmic justice. Ooh. We have the 3 of Swords. The Sun. And Judgment in reverse. So this energy wants you to know that you're going to get karmic justice for a situation that kind of left you feeling brokenhearted, whether that be in the sense of with a romantic connection, or left you feeling brokenhearted and depleted in a different area of your life. Also, I split the deck and we have the 10 of Swords here. I'm going to put that right here. But you have ended a karmic cycle here, and that's why I believe that you're getting a lot more messages from this energy coming through to guide you towards a more aligned path for you. Because with the Sun coming out and the Judgment, there is no judgment coming from this energy. It's more so an identification of the things and behaviors that have led you up until this point. But the 10 of Swords comes out to remind us that although this experience might have been painful, that is leading you to a more aligned path. The 10 signifies the end, like you've ended this karmic pattern. And so this is another reminder for you, you'll never have to go through that experience again. Like, it is completely, fully over. Okay. And if you have the 5 of Wands in reverse, I heard no fight left in. So, and what I interpret that to be as is this is no longer something that you have to fight to maintain. You no longer have to fight to maintain certain areas in your life in general. Now we sort of just let go and let things flow like a river, right? And allow those blessings to come in. But this was for sure a very interesting reading, pile 3. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, definitely leave me a like and a comment. And if you like my vibe, please stay and subscribe to the channel. There is a part 2 of this video with Mystic Magic that I will link in the description box down below on what the signs are supposed to be telling you. And I will see you very soon. Have a beautiful and blessed week.